Welcome back, my students. Today we're going to be talking about quantifiers. So let's get started. Quantifiers are very important words because they let us express the quantity of something. It's a word that usually goes before a noun to express the quantity of that object. So for example, some tea. Most quantifiers are followed by a noun, though it is also possible to use them without the noun when you know what this is. Like, do you want some tea? Yes, just a little. You don't need to say tea in the answer because you know what it is. In the question, do you want some tea? There are several quantifiers in the English language, and they can be a little tricky. So I'm going to give you some examples, explain them, and help you remember them. First, let's look at how to express large quantities of something. Much is used with non-countable nouns. Some say uncountable nouns, but I'm going to say non-countable nouns. Many is used with countable nouns. This is rice. Can you count it? I don't think you want to. This is a perfect example of a non-countable. You can count cups of rice, but I don't think you would want to ever have to count out pieces of rice. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I'm counting out 1,332 pieces of rice for dinner. That's a bad idea. So this is a perfect example of a non-countable. It's the same with milk. You can't actually count milk. You can count glasses of milk, but not the milk that's inside the glass. This is another example of a non-countable. Much. We don't have much rice. We don't have much rice. Can you count these? Why, yes, you can. 1, 2, 3. This is an example of a countable noun. This is 1 fork, 1 spoon, and a knife. We don't have many clean spoons. I guess we do. A lot of, or just a lot, is used for both countable and non-countable nouns. And then there's a lot of. You can say a lot of rice, a lot of milk, a lot of silverware, or in British English, cutlery. So you could say the following sentences. You have a lot of milk. You have a lot of milk. I don't need to say a lot of cartons of milk. It's not necessary. We know that milk comes in these cartons. So we don't need to say you have a lot of cartons of milk. Not necessary. You can say you have a lot of milk. You have a lot of milk. So remember, non-countable, much, and countable, many, and for both, a lot of. The next ones are a few, a little, and a bit of, or a little bit of. To talk about small quantities, we can use a few and a little. A few with countable nouns and a little with non-countable nouns. But be careful! Now remember, you can only use a bit with non-countable nouns. Never say little people unless you mean to say little people. This is a few people. A few of us got coffee before class. That's a small group. There were quite a few people at the train station. And that's a larger group. I could also say, I like a little bit of milk in my tea. Usually this is a smaller amount, like I'd like a splash of milk in my tea. I have a little headache. Maybe I'll take something for it. But if I say I have a little bit of a headache or I have a bit of a headache, I might just stop whatever I'm doing and have some coffee. So remember, a few is countable and a little or a bit are non-countable. Now let's talk about some and any. These two words are used with plural nouns, meaning more than one. And we use them with non-countable nouns, without giving an exact amount. Some is used with affirmatives or statements, and any is used in questions and negatives. Let's look at some examples. We need some eggs. You don't know how many we need, but we need some. I don't want any orange juice. If I'm going to a party with my friends, I want to know if there are some other people that are going. Will there be some other people going? Will there be some other people going? I recommend that you start looking for groupings when you're reading, such as, do you want any? Will there be some? Do we have any? Don't want any. Doesn't want any. Have some. Have any. Looking for these when you're reading will help you remember them. But be careful, there is an exception to the rule. Oh, another exception to the rule in English. Why? When we make requests and offers, we usually use some, not any. For example, can I have some milk? Thank you. Would you like some coffee? Again, look for word groupings like, can I have some? Could I have some? Can you give me some? Would you have some? Be careful. You can say, do you want any water? And do you want some water? But you can only say, would you like some water? The next is enough and plenty or plenty of. The words enough and plenty mean that you have a sufficient quantity or the right amount. Both words can go with countable and non-countable nouns. First, let's look at a few examples of how to use plenty. I think we need more chopsticks. Oh, we have plenty. We need more glasses. No, we have plenty. I have to hurry up so I can edit this video.
Don't worry, you have plenty of time.
Plenty of time. I have plenty of time. That's what he thinks. Now let's look at the word enough. I think we have enough milk. I think we have enough milk. Oh, I might have enough time to make more cookies. With the word enough, we can use it with a negative. For example, I don't have enough rice. I don't have enough rice. He doesn't have enough clean rags. Ugh. You'll look for groupings such as doesn't have enough, has enough, has had enough, hasn't had enough. When you see the word enough, look for the words that are connected with it. You need to understand questions about quantity. And when we ask about quantity, we use how much or how many. Here are some examples. How many? Countable nouns. How many times have you traveled to another country? How many people do you know? How many children does she have? And how much is used with non-countable nouns. How much milk do we have? How much coffee do you drink? How much time do you have? We also use how much when we ask the cost of something. For example, how much do these eggs cost? How much does milk cost in your country? How much did the glasses cost? How many videos are you watching? Here are two that you might find interesting. Okay, my students, until next time, please keep practicing and thanks for watching. Bye!